Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Shark BU3521 Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. What I want to do today is to show you around the vacuum some of the features and benefits that it offers, also give you a demonstration of it a bit later. But I'm going to show you something that's quite unique to this vacuum. It's pretty unique within the industry that not many other vacuums have, and it's actually a really useful feature. Just before I start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe. First of all, just need to get the vacuum unboxed. Right, let's see what we have to offer. So we've got the main floor head. Always very well packaged. There we go. So very smart looking design. Now I will find that I'm actually going to need to just pop this down. There we go, we've got the main lance, or the wand as some manufacturers call it. Quite a simple design. It's like almost a matte shiny, I say a matte shiny finish. Sounds a little bit contradictory. Now, something I do point out quite a lot when I'm talking about unboxing things like vacuum cleaners is the packaging material. And I must say, I'm always really impressed with the Shark products that when they package them up, because a lot of it is recyclable, yet things like the packaging of it is always really good as well. So a lot of it is either paper or brown cardboard, which can all be recycled. And the next part is the main body of the vacuum itself. There we are. So very smart looking design. I really like that, and it's very lightweight, which is always important to people. And also it's got a nice, it's like an easy grip handle there, but I'll go into that in a bit more detail later. Let's pop that to one side because I'm running out of space a little bit here. And then we've got, so this is the main base, or the dock. So here we are, and just over here I did notice that I've got a couple of accessories as well. So we have a brush, there we are, and then finally we should have the cheeky little crevice tool. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put all the packaging to one side and start to have a look at the vacuum itself. To put the vacuum together, it's really easy. All you need to do is pop this part on there, that will click into place. And the main body of the vacuum, you've only got a couple of parts to do, and that just involves popping the main lance or wand into the body of the vacuum, and then as far as the floor head, that will just click into place as well. And as far as constructing and putting everything together initially, that's everything. On this model, you've got to 40 minutes runtime, which is quite easily achievable if you were to use the eco setting on here. Now, the eco setting is very good if it's a general use, or if it's, I suppose, things like hard floors, where there's not too much dirt and dust on the floor. Another setting that you've got is called Boost, and with that, that's really useful feature if you've got a lot of dirt and dust, or if you've got a very dirty area that you need to vacuum. But you will find with that, you won't get the 40-minute runtime, you'll reduce it quite a lot. The other main setting is called Floor Detect, and what that will do, that will just detect how much dirt and dust there is on the floor, and it will increase or decrease the suction of the vacuum. I'll just show you that on the display here. And hopefully you saw there's a little indicator at the top there, and it's flashing one bar just showing that I need to charge the vacuum. Capacity of the bin is something I tend to mention quite a lot when I'm talking mainly about cordless vacuum cleaners. Now this model is 0.42 litre capacity, which isn't too big, and I suppose the main downside of having a small capacity bin is that you're having to empty it quite a lot. Something that's quite unique on this vacuum compared to other models on the market is that it has something called an auto emptying system. So basically what will happen is when you finish vacuuming, when you pop it back on the base, it will empty the bin into a separate container around the side here that I'll show you in a moment. Now things like the capacity of the bin is obviously important, but because it will auto empty at the end of each use, then that is such a fantastic feature. I've seen it on some manufacturers, but the main other manufacturers, the main competitors to Shark, they're not doing that at the moment. What you can do is you can take the bin off if you want to. So if you just press the button on the side, then that will pull down. And you've got two other buttons. If you just press those in at the side, then let's just around the side here, that's it. So you can take the bin off if you want to. You've got a filter just at the top here that is washable. Now it is recommended that if you wash the filter, then just make sure it's completely and utterly dry before you put it back in the vacuum and start using it. If you don't, then it will damage the vacuum, and that's not covered under the manufacturer's warranty. That's why I'd normally recommend buying a spare filter when you get the vacuum, so that if you do wash it, then you can have it drying on one side, which could take around 24-36 hours to dry properly. And then while that's drying, you can just pop the other one in, so you're not losing any time of vacuuming. This is the main bin, so that when the vacuum itself will auto-empty into the bin here, then all you need to do is just have a look at the line, because you've got a max line, and when it's full of rubbish or dust, then just press the button on top and that will easily lift off, and then you just need to go to a separate bin and press that button and it will open at the bottom like that. It is important, because of the volume of dust in here, it is important. I'd recommend doing it in an outside bin, because especially if you suffer with things like allergies, then you could get a lot of dust coming back up at you. Also, you have got a couple of filters in here. You've got the little tabs on there to help you take those out. It is recommended to give them a clean. Got that one out in the end. So just give these both a wash every now and then. I suppose depending on how often you're going to use the vacuum, I'd probably say once a month or at least once every couple of months. But as with the other filter, it is really important to make sure that they are completely and utterly dry, and Shark do recommend that it can take between 24 and 48 hours to dry before you put it back in the vacuum dock itself. You do a couple of accessories with it. First one is this. This is called the multi-surface tool. And with this is designed so that, as it says, depending on the surface that you're vacuuming on, then you've got different accessories. So first of all, you've got quite a soft bristle brush hair, and that can be very good if you, say, I suppose like here, I've got some hobs just around the background here. So if you needed to vacuum around there, then that could be a really good one to use. If you take it apart, then you've actually got an upholstery tool. So if you wanted to vacuum, say, your stairs, or say your car seats, for example, that's a good one to use. And then the final one is the crevice tool. This is quite a standard tool that arrives with a lot of vacuum cleaners now. You can find this can be very good if you wanted to get down, say, the side of your say car seat or the side of your sofa, or if you're limited for space, that's an ideal one to use as well. So I'm just going to give you a demonstration of the vacuum now, and what I want to do is I'm going to put it into floor detect mode to hopefully show you the increase or decrease in suction. So let's see how we get on. So I must say, I'm actually really impressed with how it performed. There were some porridge oats that I put on the floor there, and I can find from previous demonstrations with other vacuum cleaners that it can be really, really difficult to get up. I know I had to go over it twice most of the time, but because the carpet itself is quite wiry, then it can be very difficult to get everything up from the floor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop it back onto the dock, and as you can see, I've got all the porridge oats within the bin there. But I'm just going to pop it back on the dock to show you what happens when you put it in there and when it comes to empty. So if you just notice, the little flap there opened and it sucked out anything that was within the bin. Now personally, I absolutely love that feature. If you're thinking of buying one of these models, I've provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Shark BU3521 Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. Do always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad about the video. Now, I know I could have done a huge number of demonstrations, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the vacuum, also give you a quick demo of it in action, and also the auto emptying facility, which personally, again, I really like. If you have got one of these models, similar to this or this actual model, let me know what you think about it. Thanks for joining me today.